Yeah.
And then at one point, Buffy says she calls him baby, which is strange.
I noticed that.
And so I guess it's
one time when she calls him baby.
Are those is the voice being affected by this thing that they're in? Is that the explanation, or should we just get used to new voices?
It was the hot monkey love.
Well, there's some truth to that. I mean, definitely what happened in 34 was, kind of changed things a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. The use of that word "baby" as being evidence of her being really out of character. I don't know. I like that. That's interesting, and maybe I should ask Joss about that. Because again, 36 was one that he wrote completely. Just a script showed up, it was done, boom. So I don't know what the intent behind that particular word choice was.
I kind of just got the impression she was, for lack of a better word, caught up in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she would have never called Angel baby.
Are you sure?
Not the context that she said it.
You're all talking.
Before that, though. It was a lot different because remember the first time when they actually did their thing? She thought he was never coming back. That's a lot different than what happened this time where, holy crap, we're together again and this rocks. I mean, to me it just came across as her being really caught up in what was going on, and she said it and it wasn't even a conscious choice of words on her part. It just kind of came out and there it was. And like I said, when you look at the whole 2 times that they've actually done their thing.
Okay, the use of the word baby. I'm going to read dialogue that might be slightly spoilerish, but I don't think so.
Can we role play? I'll play Spike.
I'm just going to read both parts. Buffy says, "You save as many as you can." She's referring to Slayers that are out there dealing with a bunch of junk. "You save as many as you can, and I get Spike's piece of the puzzle." And Angel says, "Is that all you want from him?" And Buffy says, "That's beneath you, baby." If she was... That's a little bit of banter that, I don't know. I disagree that that's out of character. Like, has she never said the word baby before?
Not to Angel. She's never.
That was a rhetorical question.
I should sit and watch every episode right now.
I mean, even
yeah, you guys are just... Yeah, but listen to the dialogue. Angel did just like say something that was kind of beneath him. Is that all? Spike has shown up. No spoilers there, right? And Buffy says that she's going to get this information from him because she needs it, which is true. And he says, "Is that all you want from him?" Clearly, full of innuendo, right? And she says, "That's beneath you, baby." It's not saying, "Baby, will you get me a cup of coffee?" It's not saying baby in like the context of just normal interaction. Like he was snarking and she's snarking back.
I think.
Let's call Johnson. Agree to disagree.
Well, I just rewatched the entire episode or the entire series, and she's never given any of her lovers, Riley, Spike, or Angel. She's never given any of them pet names. She's never called them anything other than their formal name.
Yeah, but is baby a pet name? Would you really?
In that context, it's not really a pet name. It's saying, "Hey, grow up, idiot." And instead of idiot, she said baby. Okay. I mean, that's what I think. That's how I read it. Like he. One of the things I like seeing is that they're all still juvenile. Like, I don't think you've seen it yet, but some of Spike's dialogue, some of Buffy's dialogue, some of Angel's dialogue in what's happening in this juncture here, they're all displaying their totally in character juvenile sides. Like, I think we'd agree that when it comes to the romantic stuff, they all regress a little bit, including the guys that are hundreds of years old, where it's a little weird. And I think that's what that is there. Like, I get, like, if she's never, I don't know, I definitely haven't observed it that closely that she's never given anybody a pet name or anything, but I just don't know that that's what's going on right there.
She's being condescending to her.
Yeah, and has she never done that? Yeah, and I just think there's a lot of snark, and Spike, there's great snark with Spike too. But you've had your hand up for a while.
I just wanted to say that I think that just because somebody says or does something they've never done before doesn't mean that it's out of character. I do think that I've never done before all the time.
Yes.
I actually have a clarification question. This is a writing question.
No, it's not a rash. Go ahead.
But the cream will get rid of it.
Thank God. No, I know there was an explanation, but the whole concept of Twilight as Angel having to wage war and kill Slayers, like, I don't know, like, the reason I was so, I guess a lot of people were so surprised about the reveal was they were like, why would Angel be killing people because he had to in this, as this, trying to reach this higher existence. And I felt like the explanation was really confusing.
And happened too fast is the biggest problem.
But my bottom line is I didn't understand.
Right, and like in a nutshell, all I've got to say about that, and I wish we'd made it clear for everybody. I wish we'd made it work better for everybody, and I wish we'd had the room. But like I was saying before, revealing your villain so late in the game when things are like totally ramping up to the end just didn't give us the repose to get into it all. But basically, all of these forces were mounting against Buffy. All of these things were going to rise up against her from all these different directions. And what Angel did was become a figurehead through which they would be focused so that she could have an enemy to face rather than having her enemies come from every different direction. All of this stuff was going to happen, and some of it will have repercussions in season 9. All of this stuff was going to happen. Angel, in the form of Twilight, gave it a face and gave it a focal point that she could deal with, rather than just like every enemy is coming from every different direction. And could we have done more to make that clear and make that like that is the kind of thing I believe as a writer, that is the kind of thing that should have just smoothly happened in the story. And for some people it did, and for a lot of people it didn't. And I wish it had been more clear. And I know, when I've explained that to some people, they've come back and said, yeah, but what about this and what about this? And like, yeah, it's a complex and messy situation. But but my answer is just that he provided a figurehead for tons of evil and harm that was coming anyway, and rather than actually adding to or creating all that harm, it was coming. Twilight is merely a figurehead.
Yeah, as a reader, I know that when I was looking at it and trying to understand that change that I wasn't expecting, right? It made sense to me in the sense of it gave Buffy one front to fight rather than multiple, coming from all kinds of disorganization. That would have been impossible for her to deal with, I think, and having that one thing to focus on. I think like I said, as a reader, Angel is always about, let's save as many as we can. He knows there's going to be loss. There's less loss from one front than multiple. It's in a balance. There's got to be some way to make this less bad. We can't make it good.
You made it so that she got invaded on the Normandy beach and nowhere else.
Right.
Oh, Lord. Uninvited, no less.
Church is changing. Be here all week.
I'm curious, is anybody reading the motion comics online or watching the things developed on iTunes? The motion comics one? What are you really? Okay. I'm just curious, how people are preferring that over the comic, or maybe the comic is more. It's sort of like saying, well, the book was better than the movie, or the movie better than the book. So I was just curious how people might have responded to it.
The motion comic is brilliant.
You like it then?
It's beautiful. It really is.
I like the voices. I gotta say, I don't know about the animation as much, but I do like the voices.
I like the animation better than I like the voices.
Really? Okay.
You're always so difficult.
I mean, the one that's supposed to do Buffy doesn't sound anything like the rest of the cast sounds good. The one that sounds like that's supposed to be doing Buffy doesn't sound anything like Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I've got Sarah Michelle Gellar's voice in my head.
I agree. Totally.
So, but everybody else sounded really good.